Ben here from Gold Diggers. It's Monday Night Live 59. G'day, Warren.
G'day, Ben. Good to be back.
It is. It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was pre-Christmas. A few months, 4 months or something ago.
Oh, really? I thought I was feeling lonely for some reason. You know. So,
well,
so
it's
yes,
all on tonight. It's all happening tonight.
It is a big night tonight.
Yeah.
Winning the as a Ace 200.
Ace 200.
We've got the 200 here. Giveaway tonight.
Yep,
so
yep.
That's a phenomenal prize.
That's awesome.
That one. So.
Great machine for. Well, it can even. I mean, it's not designed for the goldfields, but there's plenty of document cases where the gold have been found with
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So Lynn's here, and Adrian, and Sean, lots and lots of people here. We'll just see if we can get this these comments working a bit better here for us. There we go.
Comments.
Yeah. Roger, stacks and stacks of people here already. G'day, guys. Welcome along. So tonight we're going to have a bit of a chat about gold.
Where to look, what to use.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We'll do some panning.
Yeah.
We're going to show people. You know, the question I get a lot is how to use a snuffer bottle. So I've got a snuffer bottle floating there. We'll do
That's
a bit of that.
Yep.
But before we get on too far, tonight's pitch is from Alicia. Alicia, it's Adelong Falls, and it's near the reefer battery there. So it's a cracking photo for tonight's show.
That'll be Alicia from Gordy Gold Prospect.
Yeah, that's
Alicia and Steve.
Yeah. So thanks very much for that.
Gee, it's a pretty gold down in that Adelong area.
Yeah, and just, I mean, just have a look. Let me just get rid of us because no one really cares about us too much. But have a look at that creek.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what a spectacular little bit of
water in it too.
Yeah. We don't see a lot of that up here.
I don't know what water is.
Yeah.
It hasn't rained either for that. The thing is, one of the videos that Alicia and Steve just did you see that one they did with the because of the prospecting laws and the power equipment?
Yeah.
They were just using a bucket to bucket into the sluice.
Yep.
Worked pretty well. They got a lot of gold out of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the beauty of that push-in box that we do. Gold Rack does is you can do that, and it's designed to do that.
The thing about New South Wales, I mean, it's the original gold state. That's where the gold was first found.
Yep.
Anyone thinks of Victoria for the big deep leads and the big nuggets, and WA where the gold goes on forever. But really, for a recreational prospectors, weekend prospecting, New South Wales is about your best bet.
Yep.
Like for crevicing and sluicing and panning.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
all the back of the ranges up from like Adelong, Tumut up through Bathurst up to Mudgee. Yeah. Fantastic gold.
And water.
Yeah, and water.
Water. So.
Yeah. And it's a lot of permanent water.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, guys, we're having a little bit of a we're having a little bit of an experiment here. I put a post up earlier, middle of last week, about how many shows Monday Night Lives have you watched. So there's a bit of a surprise happening about halftime tonight. Now, to be involved in the surprise, you need to duck over there in the next half an hour and put a comment on that.
Eureka flag post.
It's got a Eureka flag on the post. I've got a story about the Eureka flag.
Have you?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was any stories attached to the Eureka flag.
No. Well, I've got my own Eureka flag story, but So, but you've got to go over there and do that before half time. I can't stress it enough. Go over there and do it. Go over and make a comment on that.
Yep.
Even if you watch one show, make a comment.
I tell you, one bloke who's never watched a show.
What's that?
Live. You.
Yeah, no, I've never seen a live show. I have seen a couple after the event.
Oh, you have,
Yeah, and I tell you who has seen a lot of the shows is Natalie, who works for me.
Oh, right.
Because she chops up we're doing these little shortcuts now. So she watches hours and hours and hours of me.
She must love it.
She's a stat.
And then she's got to listen to you live all day.
Exactly. So she gets a fair bit of me. So, right, so... big news come out this week.
Right.
SDC coils.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Pretty innovative move, actually.
Absolutely, yeah. I thought it was, and I talked to someone in WA today who said they're performing pretty well.
So it'd be interesting to see if they get depth.
Yeah, well, that's the bigger coils seem to be getting depth.
Okay.
So, you know, but that is the question. Like,
yeah.
With all these new products, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of this.
Yeah. Because you can't really crank the sensitivity up because the stock coil does pretty damn well on that.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how they go. In 3 months' time, we'll know.
Yeah, true.
You know, so...
Well, and no one's going to be trying their 4,500 or 5,000 a way to do it. But,
oh, no. But, yeah, so that's very, very interesting. So, Coiltech coming up with some innovative stuff there. Great. So, good on Coiltech. So, Andrew Scott, Dustin's here. G'day, Dustin, Aaron, Dylan, Narelle, of course, Bodell. Lots and lots of people here. I can't keep up with the comments already. So,
ripping through, yeah.
Right, so why don't we? So, researching Goldfields. Let's start at the very beginning.
You're just starting out prospecting.
Yeah, and it's probably the most important step.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no point going out in your backyard and going, I'm going to find gold.
No. Well, you can. There's plenty of people in Australia who are actually prospecting in the pure sense of the word.
Yeah.
In other words, looking for not necessarily new gold fields, but good gold finds.
Yeah.
In areas where gold hasn't been found.
Yeah.
That goes on.
Yeah. And it still goes on today.
All the time.
Still
not just mining companies, but there's plenty of professional prospectors
that do that, yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
But really, for the weekend prospector, is pretty time poor because you're probably stuck with a job during the week.
Yeah.
You've got to go to where the old timers have been.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of documented goldfields all around Australia, even South Australia. I mean, there's still good gold. People say, oh, South Australia's got nothing. A lot of good gold comes out of, up there in the hills.
Yeah.
And the same in the Northern Territory. You never hear about much gold in the Territory. There's plenty of gold in the Territory.
There's a lot of gold coming out of Territory. Yeah. And it's pretty well kept.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet. And it's funny, the Territory's a bit like WA in that it's sort of almost insulated a bit.
Yeah.
That you don't...
Yeah, it is. It's a different country.
Yeah.
Different
it's
world.
Like WA's a different...
Everyone gets wrapped up in the East Coast and no one thinks about the West Coast and the same, the other way.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. But I mean, the thing is about once you research the old goldfields, and I only sort of thought about this the other day when I was, when you go out panning and crevicing in these known streams,
yep.
Generally, unless you're going really deep, you're probably just getting flood gold from the last 160, 170 years.
Yeah.
On the high benches in particular.
Yeah.
But what you need to find, and people do it, if you're diligent and you look in the right places, is to find the deep gold where it's been accumulating for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
That the old timers didn't get.
Yeah.
That's still there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of it still
in all these streams. Like, okay, you can go to any modern river that's known to have gold in it. You can go up on the flood benches and get colours.
Yeah.
But that's only come down the last couple of years.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't come down, BC.
And that's the gold we talk, or like I've always talked about. You could probably go and find gold in every creek down the east coast of Australia.
And you will do it. Yeah. But if you get into these, like
the rich patches.
The rich,
exactly.
You think about the old rivers like Palmer River, 1872, German Bar. The guys are picking up nuggets in their hands and just putting them in their pockets because it's been there millions of years, stuck in the bedrock crevices. It wasn't even in the crevices after it, just laying around. Okay, so the old timers took that stuff, but if you get down deep in a crevice, you can get really rich runs of gold that's never been touched, and it isn't flood gold from the last 200 years. You know what I mean?
And when we're talking about, I probably should wait for when we're talking about panning. When you're talking about crevice, and you're scratching a crevice out with a screwdriver, a lot of times you're not even halfway down.
No.
So you really need to break that rock off and get that stuff.
Exactly.
That's where the gold
you reminded me of Ian Idris's old book. He bought recently.
Yeah. I've got a stack of them.
And he was around, like he was one of Australia's greatest prospectors. Yeah. Good writer too.
Yeah. And
he's talking about crowbarring deep into the bedrock, and you'd be surprised how, I mean, rock weathers in different layers. Obviously, it's soft, it's slightly weathered at the top, and then it gets denser, and eventually you get to fresh bedrock.
Yeah.
The gold's not going to go past the fresh bedrock. Yeah. But you'd be surprised how deep you can get into what you think is rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You get a pry bar in some
smash it up. And the other thing is too, don't make the mistake of thinking that a boulder, a floater, is bedrock.
Yeah.
It could be sitting on 3 metres of wash.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to look around and see where.
Absolutely.
A rock bar is obvious, and if it's bedrock, okay. But just because there's a great big rock in the creek, it could be sitting on 10 feet of gravel.
You and I went to a place there that had a rock the size of, it would have been it wasn't quite shaped like a car, but it was at least car size.
Yeah, as big as a Land Cruiser.
Where they'd put those, remember those timber logs?
That's right.
Right? And they've gone completely underneath it, hadn't they?
Excavated under it. Yeah. But they were still in wash.
Yeah, it's still in wash underneath.
Yeah.
And they were still digging wash out. So, yeah.
So the point is to persist. Once you get into your gold fields that you were talking about, go to where gold's been found.
Yeah. And then one thing I always talk about, and even I know a couple of professional prospectors that have benefited from this, is look at the ground that the gold fields, where the old timers were finding it, then go 5 k's out of the gold field and see if you can find similar ground.
Exactly.
Because the amount of gold, I know of one bloke who's got 20 ounces by doing that, and using a 7,000, but he just saw the same ground and went, right, let's test this.
Instinctively, if you go to metal detecting, if you find gold with a metal detector somewhere, you'll always look for a similar situation. Because I know I found a nugget there. But the principles of gold deposition apply obviously, but every gold field in Australia is different. You got to know your local gold field. And when you think about Australia, you need to get into the geology to get good at finding a lot of gold.
And that's the next little thing I had. You really need to understand the geology. Because
Australia's the oldest, most worn down continent. You look at places, I've been to prospecting in Arizona, California, New Zealand, it's all new country. It's all new country. All the gold deposition laws that you read about in theory are now applying because the gold's coming down, getting deposited there right now. That's still happening here, but if you think about Australia, let's say you got a valley back in the 50 million years ago. And that's not much of a drop in time in this country. When you consider we've got geologically in Australia, we've got rocks that are 1 billion years old. 50 million years ago, here's a stream, gold's being deposited in the stream. The reef's being worn away, there's tons of gold in the stream. All of a sudden it gets hot and dry again, bit of climate change going on like it always is. Then these volcanoes pop up and they call it the Great Dividing Range these days. Massive lava flows coming down these gullies. All of a sudden this gold is what? A kilometre underground.
And the tectonic plates are pushing and folding and rolling. What was once a valley is now the top of a mountain.
So your little stream that I'm talking about now could be 1,000 metres up, hanging out the side of a mountain, because that's where the old gravels have ended up.
Covered in lava.
Exactly. And then now, in the modern day, it's once again the weathering started again, and it's weathering that old deep lead that's up in the mountain, coming down the current modern streams. Now we haven't got the deposition of the lava anymore, thankfully. So. I'm still talking about flood gold that you're getting recently, but these old deep leads, that's like Victoria, is the classic example where all the big gold comes out of those deep leads. But it was like Guy was saying last week, not all the gold in the deep leads, you think, deep leads is 30 metres down, not going to detect a nugget there, but you still get nuggets up on the top. I was in Victoria a couple of years ago, and they were working a lease, and it was 6 metres to this it was an old stream bed in the middle of a flat, it was dead flat sheep pad. It's an old street bed. The old timers had put down a shaft and a drive. And what was interesting, halfway in the paddock, the old tertiary stream went down a waterfall. So the old timers went along the paddock, down a waterfall. This is underground. Then kept going that way. So there was lots of iron and timber coming out of the hole. But the interesting thing was, all the gold was coming out of that deep lead, that old creek. But during the day, we found some great gold, 2 or 3 inches above the ground. Under the ground, floating, all around the paddock. So there was gold deposited up in the current weathered level, if you know what I mean. Just under the grass. Even though most of the gold was down in that creek. So you got to think about once you research your gold deposition rules and laws, you got to think about Australia and which gold field you're in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You look at North Queensland. Geologically, it's very young. I think the last volcanic eruption was 100,000 years ago.
So, just to break it down a little bit more simply, what's a deep lead?
Okay, so it's a buried stream, an old buried stream.
A gold creek bed.
Which was full of gold, but it's a deep lead could be, which it's been covered over, and it might be weathered down to that level of the lead. You might see it out of the ground, or you might still have to find where the old timers gone down shafts to get to the old creek bed. So that's a deep lead. Typically, Victoria. There's deep leads in Queensland.
I have a theory that there's a layer of gold, not necessarily payable, over the whole continent of Australia.
Oh.
It's just, it's just like on the Darling Downs or some of those places. It's very, very deep.
Yeah.
No one can get to it.
No one's ever going to get. Well, they will in 10 million years' time.
Yeah, exactly. When it's
worn down again.
Well,
yeah. So that's the thing. Like Australia is now, the gold that comes out of Australia has either been deposited. Well, it's all been deposited long ago, but it's not being weathered from fresh volcanic activity.
Not fresh volcanic activity. No. It's still being weathered.
Like New Zealand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like New Zealand's getting squashed up against Australia. That's why these mountains are going up and up and up.
Yeah.
But once again, in New Zealand, you've got the issue with too much water in this deep wash.
Yeah.
But they haven't got the situation where we've got ancient stream beds.
No.
Well, they probably have. Who knows where they are?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the next thing, is I often think it's best if you're going into a new area or you're just beginning, do a course.
Oh, yeah.
Go to the experienced bloke in the area.
That's right.
And go and learn some information off him. Because there is local knowledge involved in it, and it does take a while to get dialed into certain different grounds. And are you looking for deep leads, or is it fresh deposits,
or is it in a false bottom? Is it in bedrock?
Have you got to go through that layer?
That's right.
You know, so I often say to new people, go and do a course. Like if you're in Victoria, there's a stack of courses. Go and do one. Like it's probably the best $200 to $400, $500, $600 you'll ever spend.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're buying a $10,000 machine and you go and go and try and learn it yourself.
Yeah.
Like you may as well spend the $500 or $600 and spend some time with a decent.
And spend if you spend half your life wandering around deep ground where you've got no chance of finding anything.
Exactly.
Even though you're in the goldfields.
Yeah.
It's
cheap.
You got to work, and you don't have to buy a $10,000 detector. We keep saying that.
No.
But it depends. If you've got a little VLF with a tiny core like a Gold Bug or an AT Max, you're going to look for shallow ground. You're going to look for where bedrock close to the surface, nuggets close to the surface, or places like Warwick where it's not on bedrock but it's in a really heavy clay that never gets wet, basically.
Yeah.
And the gold just sits up in the clay.
Yeah.
And it's shallow digging.
Yeah.
But if you're in soft ground where you've got a modern loamy deposit on a river bench, and the bedrock's 3 or 4 metres down, well, the gold's not going to be in the sand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Your flecks of flood gold will be, but not your detectable nuggets.
Exactly. So stacks of people here, Ross and Cody and Rebecca and Kerry and Jason and Maximilian.
Oh.
There's a handle.
Yeah, I like it.
Gregory. How are you, Greg? So, just to remind everyone, it's about 15 minutes. You have to go to the post that I put up last week
with the Eureka flag.
With the Eureka flag, to let me know how many Monday Night Lives you've watched. If this is your first one, go on there and comment 1. I want to see if I can get as many people on there. And there's a bit of surprise coming, and it's in about 15 minutes away. So. For those people who just come and watch the last 5 minutes to get the prize,
you're going to miss out on this one.
You're going to miss out on this one. This one's a cracker. So
you're getting a bit cunning.
I am getting a bit cunning, and we might change the because a lot of people, I do notice we get a spike of numbers at the end. So maybe we'll mix that up a little bit in future.
We should draw that Ace 200 now.
Yep. Who's it? Speaking of Ace 200, we got one to give away tonight. Sorry, almost.
That's all right.
Gave you one with that. But Ace 200, fantastic little machine, 320. So all you need to do with that one is to share this post before the end of the live stream. That's her there. Ace 200, brand spanking new one in the box. And a great little starter machine. And it's a phenomenal coin machine, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's just switch on and go, so easy to use. Yeah. 4 AA batteries.
Yeah.
You got a fixed ground balance, so like I said, it's not suitable for the goldfields. But having said all that, I've got something here. I'll show you. This here, if you can see that gold nugget there.
Yep.
Colleen found with a Garrett Ace.
Yeah.
$4,000.
Here, we'll put it under the. I'm going to duck around the corner here, and we'll put it under. This is our.
So this just shows, like, okay, it's fixed ground balance, won't handle the mineralisation, and yet there's the proof that if you wander around the bush, and you walk over the gold.
You see that one there?
Yeah. Oh, you can. I'm looking at the wrong place.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's a 4 grammer. Collingwood with an Ace 250. So you can find gold. It's metal. Find it with a metal detector.
Yeah.
If you walk across it in certain conditions, it'll happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
I mean, most most people's budgets don't run to $10,000 for a hobby.
No, and for a coin machine,
It's a coin magnet.
It is.
It's just fantastic.
Yes, it is great like that.
Yeah.
So, I suppose the bit that goes with the learn a bit of geology is learn your systems online. If you're in WA and you're not using the Tenograph system, you're mad.
Yeah.
If you're not on the Queensland one or the New South, wherever you are, there's one in each state.
Yep.
You're absolutely stark raving mad.
Yeah, and don't forget your check with your local mines department, your state mines department, to see what permits you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the only state that you don't need a permit is South Australia.
So, tell me, if you were to start gold prospecting, right? What would you probably start with?
I'd buy a gold pan.
Gold pan. So.
And a gold pan and a classifying sieve of some description, and a shovel.
And a shovel, and you'd be
That's
away.
all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Like I said, you go to places. It's all about processing material. The more you process, the more chance you get more gold.
Absolutely.
But you still need to find those pay streaks. Like if we're going to talk about where gold gets deposited eventually tonight, I suppose. But you think about where gold gets deposited in a stream bed on your low pressure zones on your inside bends.
We're going to do that in a minute.
Okay, well we'll do that in a minute.
Yeah.
But with your solitary gold pan, maximise your chances of finding gold by going to the right place.
Yeah.
Now,
absolutely.
If you look at your inside bends or your
okay, we'll get into that now.
Okay.
Eh? Right. So
where to sample?
Where to sample?
So an inside bend, which is a point bar.
Okay, I've put up the right. I've got. Here you go. There's
a point bar there.
Yeah.
Now that stream's flowing.
With the arrow.
Yeah. Okay, it's flowing with the arrow. So that point bar.
That way.
As it's going around that corner.
At point A.
At point A.
Yep.
Now, if you go in the bush, and it doesn't have to be a gold-bearing stream, just go to a creek anywhere in this country, and see how the gravel's deposited. On that point bar, the coarse material drops out first, so it'll be in the leading edge of the bar.
Yep.
Around the back of the bar, you'll find it's a big sandbar. It's fine. They're fines.
Yep.
So all your heavy stuff, it'll drop out of that water as quick as it can. As soon as you get it, it slackens.
Yep.
And of course, streams are not perfect beasts. They've got rocks and they've got all sorts of obstructions. They're snaking down, and in a flood, the water doesn't just flow like that. It's like a helical. It flows like this down the stream. There's all sorts of things to consider.
Yeah.
If you can look at it at your local creek where you're getting gold in flood, it's a real advantage. That's not always possible, but look where your point bars are and where your line of deposit is now.
Yeah.
What I was talking about earlier with your recent flood gold, if you go to that point bar and down to that and sample in the right space on that inside bend, you'll get some flood gold.
Yeah.
You'll get colour.
Absolutely.
But that's not going to be a pay streak that's been deposited 7,000 or 8,000 years ago.
No.
Somewhere on that stream, that gold's been accumulating for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
And the stream keeps moving. Like if you look at that photograph there, opposite point A, that stream's moving that way. Like it's eroding into that deep. There'll be a deep pool on opposite A.
Yep.
And it's eroding into the country that way.
Yep.
So that's where you get, and you'll end up with an old billabong on the inside bend.
Yeah.
And that's also a good place to look because the old billabong was the stream bed long ago, and there's going to be gold there.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And then of course, while we got that photo up, point B is a natural riffle,
right?
That will hold gold as well.
Exactly.
Now I want to challenge some of people's thinking a little bit here. So I want to show you this creek here, and I want to particularly point out the point A there, that rocky bit in the centre of that creek. It's the straightest creek I could find with a rock in the centre. Because you need to think about it a little bit differently, I think. So you would assume you would go to that creek and go, right, I'm going to go directly behind that rock, right? So let me put the wackiest drawing up that I've ever done, right?
It's going to be fun.
It's exciting, right? So this is the zoomed in version, right, of that point.
Okay.
Right? So, most people would look within that yellow area.
Exactly.
Right? However, that point A, those rocks are creating that riffle, and depending on how fast the stream's flowing and how coarse the gold is,
yeah,
that could be depositing all the way through those triangles, all the way up to F.
That's a good
down the stream.
That's a good diagram, because when you think about it,
you laughed at it when I put it.
No, I did. It's both ridiculous and very good at the same time. Because if you think about it, if you get a massive flood through there,
yep,
and you think about, people don't appreciate some of these floods. I was just reading the other day that the 1896 flood that came through Brisbane,
yep,
26 metres deep, the Brisbane River.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a lot of water.
That's beyond, the whole of the CBD was submerged. Okay, so, and 26 metres, that's from normal level. And then you've got to add the depth of the river.
Yeah.
So and what I'm saying is...
You know the river's 30 metres deep in places?
You get 90 metres, or whatever, 50 metres of water.
Yeah.
But, like, in a really big flood, that rock would be completely submerged.
And it's still working.
Still working underwater.
Underwater.
But, like you said, because the water will come around it like that.
Yeah.
And then you have a plume behind it, even underwater.
Exactly.
And eventually, as its flood drops, it becomes even a better obstruction. But that's a good idea, because you will find, if you sampled that, there would be like those point bars where you have heavy deposits behind the rock, and then finer deposits in a big tail.
As you're going out.
Yeah.
And the richest spot of that could be not behind the rock. It could be an E. Or C,
exactly. And you might find that just to the left or the right of that blue line somewhere, there could be a little gutter in the bedrock.
Yeah.
It's been picking up gold.
Yeah.
For 300,000 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not just last.
And there could be in the bottom of that creek at point E, there could be a perfect riffle that holds every bit of gold that goes past it.
That's right.
And catches it.
Yeah.
And everyone is sampling behind the rock, all the way to sort of B and C.
Yeah.
No one's looked at E.
Yeah.
So that's
why you got to. Gold prospecting is hard work.
But you've got to sample.
But you've got to be intelligent with your sampling.
Yeah.
Because if you do 3 or 4 pans and you're only getting no colour or 1 or 2 colours, you're not in the right spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing about, if you look at the old timers' workings in the hard rock mines where they're following a line of reef, where the reef peters out, you'll see that they've generally cut a costine, a series of costines, or across the line of reef.
Yeah.
Okay. Or above the line of reef. Just where's the reef gone? I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's no use running your costine parallel with the reef, because you've got less chance of hitting it. So when you're sampling across a stream or a bedrock bar, don't sample downstream.
You
sample across the stream.
Yeah.
Find your rich spot.
Yeah.
Where the rich spot is, then you start sampling down the stream.
And that's exactly how mining companies do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They cut the gully.
Yeah.
And obviously they're doing it with an excavator and a trommel, but
you're just doing it on a smaller scale.
Smaller scale. It's exactly the same principle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another one of your inside bends and in B there.
Yeah.
The other thing is too where the quick water slows.
That's right.
Like in D. So obviously that's running into a pool there.
Yeah.
At D, it's coming through that narrowing there.
Yep.
And then the gold will be depositing straight after that.
And don't forget, when you get to detecting, if you look at that diagram, that stream is sort of moving up the screen there, weathering up the screen.
Yeah.
So long ago, that bend might have been 100 metres further south.
Exactly.
So there could be a big accumulation of gold on the dry land side,
Yep.
even above the floodplain now where the stream used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you really got to get to know your local stream.
Yeah.
And get to know your local stream in all sorts of weather conditions.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you got to resist the temptation to run all over the place like a mad hare.
Oh.
And stick in one spot and get to know your spot.
Yeah.
Like if you're lucky enough to live really close to a gold field.
Yep.
And actually, most of us do.
Yeah.
Really acquaint yourself with the characteristics of where it is, and then once you start finding gold, like you said before, just look for a replicated spot.
Yeah.
Even go to, if you found a heap of gold at any position on that diagram there.
Yeah.
When you go upstream or downstream or another spot in that creek or the next creek over or 3 gullies over, look for a replicated sort of situation.
Yeah.
Because you're good chance you'll hit a pay streak.
Absolutely.
But like I said, you're not really looking for the flood gold that came down since the old timers cleaned it out.
Yeah.
You're looking for the cracks and crevices the old timers didn't clean out.
Yeah.
And that gold's been coming in there for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
Because once it's there, it doesn't move.
No.
It doesn't move unless a volcano blows a hole in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I think I've got to look this up again. I've been quoting this for a long time. But an ounce of gold on a flat surface, right, takes 316 metres per second of water over it to move it.
That's on a slippery slope, on a flat surface.
On a flat surface.
Let alone in a rock crack.
Yeah, exactly. So it sort of, it sits there. It doesn't go too far.
I think last time we were talking about this, I've used this example. Like when I was over in California, a bloke called Dave was doing a flood bench in the Feather River with his machine. Someone had cleaned the whole crack out.
Yep.
There was a little tailings pile where they'd cleaned out a crack, and they've obviously got a lot of gold. Ran the machine over it, and you got a faint signal, and in the very bottom of the crack was a half-ounce nugget shaped like a pencil. It was just jammed right. It had been in there for heaven knows how long. The old timers had missed it. Yeah. Every man had missed it. Like you never would have found it with a detector, but all that was someone not efficiently cleaning out the crack with a proper hook.
In a crack like that, point A there.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to get there with your pry bar and your crowbar and
open that crack up. Yeah. There's no point,
because if it keeps going, if you can open the crack up, the gold's gone further.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't open the crack up, probably hasn't.
Yeah. There's a fantastic.
Yeah, I think that should be on a calendar or something.
Yeah, it should be.
It's like go inland if you're looking for gold. Well, that doesn't apply if you're in Tasmania at Doctor's Rocks. Go out to sea. Remember I've got to get, next time I go to Tassie, I've got to go to Doctor's Rocks. You can pan gold in the saltwater pools on the beach.
Well, yeah, I reckon we should go down and do that. Jump on a plane with a gold pan. Yeah.
Not in the middle of winter, but
no.
There's not too many places in Australia you can pan gold in a rock pool in salt water.
No, there's not. There's not. Well, we're in your boardies. Or your budgie smugglers.
Yeah, your budgie smugglers. That'd make a good video.
Prospecting and budgie smugglers. Yeah. So, yeah. I'll leave that one to you, I think, mate.
Yeah, well, yours.
Right, so the other thing I just want to talk about quickly here is, and let me, guys, you've got a minute. When I finish talking about this, I'm going to.
Okay.
So you need to get onto that. You need to get onto that post with the Eureka flag. Put a comment in there, because I'm going to announce a surprise right after I do this. So make sure you get over there and post. It's asking how many Monday Night Lives you've watched. Even if this is your first one, get over there and post one on. But so when we're talking about sampling, right? Quite often people bring me a rock.
Right.
And say, has this got gold in it? So I showed this this quickly last week. I've also put
the rock crusher.
This rock crusher is very heavy, but very, very. It's a phenomenal bit of gear. It will basically. It's pretty hard to do this show with a rock crusher, but it will basically turn that rock there quite comfortably into powder. So that's a great sampling tool.
This is a great machine for crushing, your pocket full of hot rocks you come out with, in case they're not hot rocks.
Bash them through. Yeah, bash them through and pan them off.
Yeah, so, just because you can't see gold in it, and you've got a good detector signal.
Yeah, exactly. So I put up a video through the week of the rock crusher. So there's a good video.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well,
that's an improvement on a hammer on a bit of concrete.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's my preferred method. But
yeah. Well,
then
so we you can bring your rocks in here and we sample it and we'll pan it off for you.
Oh, right.
And just see if there is any gold in it.
Too easy.
Don't show up with a ute load.
Don't show up with a ute load. Yeah, a couple of tonnes of ore.
This is not a production facility here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, right. Okay, so, guys, I'm about to close that
surprise flag.
The flag post off. So if you've got like 10 seconds, and I'm going to type in closed, right? And I'm about to hit enter. Done. So what is going to happen there is that we've decided to review. I'm a bit nervous about this because I didn't see how many comments were there, but everyone that commented on that post, right, we will be contacting you in the next day or two, depending on how many comments, and everyone's going to get a $20 gift voucher. Done. Everyone's going to get a $20 gift voucher.
Jeez, this is going to cost you some dollars, isn't
it? Yeah. That's what I'm a bit nervous about.
So everyone's a winner?
Everyone's a winner. So you get a $20 gift voucher, spend it online, spend it in store, doesn't matter. Fantastic. So we will contact you with a code that you can use in the next couple of days. So every single person who's commented on that post gets a $20 gift voucher. Done. So
it's the best giveaway ever.
That's the great...
well, this is a chance if you've never been prospecting, put it towards a gold pen kit.
And there's no minimum spend. If you want, well, you can only use it once, right? So it's a gift voucher you can use once. So if you buy something for $10, you get it for nothing.
$10.
But you get it, you're blowing the extra $10. But if you spend something, if you buy a gold pen, a Garrett gold pen, a gold trap pen at $29.99, you pay $9.99.
Yeah, awesome.
So, you know, obviously if you want to put it towards a rock crusher.
Plus it's rewarding your faithful viewers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice,
so yeah,
nice gesture, Ben.
It is a yes.
I should have entered the competition.
Yeah, you
should. A $10 voucher. I
am not going to look at how many comments there are until after the show,
no.
in case I need to cry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Go to the bank manager and ask for money.
Ask for money. Yeah. So everyone's got a $20 gift voucher that commented on that post. So well done. So don't forget to...
Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, don't forget to share this post. Before the end of the live stream, you're going to the draw to win a Ace 200. So that's the next step in about half an hour's time. So who's going to do the gold panning?
I think
we better do a demo.
I did it last time. I think it's must be you're up.
I wore my gold pan out last time, I think.
Yeah.
You got talking, didn't you? Okay.
We got way off the track. That's not unusual for us.
No, it's
not. A lot of jibber jabber.
So I just thought we'd give you a quick, for newbies who've never done any gold panning, I thought we'd just give you a quick demo on how to do a gold pan.
Right.
And then a really common question, which I find strange, is how to use a snuffer bottle.
Right.
So
this is all going to be demoed.
This is going to be demoed.
All will be revealed.
All will be revealed.
But gold panning is simple, but there's definitely a technique to it that you need to use that Ben's going to demonstrate now. And actually, these little Garrett gold trap pan. Well, let's see, little backpacker pan.
Little backpacker pan, yeah.
90-degree riffles is awesome for this sort of thing.
Yeah. So let me see if I can get this light out of the shot here. But so this is a $69 bag of pay dirt I've put in here, and all I've done with this bag of pay dirt is I've actually washed it clean, so it's not going to dirty the water up.
Yeah.
So we can actually see what's going on. So, so basically, you operate the pan with the riffles away from you, right? And you can see how clean that water is. When you get a bag of pay dirt or you're panning it, you won't be able to see this, but I wanted to make it really clear for people to see. So you can see there's still a bit of crap in it there. So the idea of this pan is or any pan, is to get the gold right in the bottom lip there, so nothing can spill over the edge. So to do that, you make sure it's all wet, and maybe you've got to break the clay up with your hands, right? But you want to be side to side motion, right? And you're basically wanting to wash the light stuff off the top. With these gold pans, like these Garrett gold pans that have got a 90-degree riffle on them, they're very, very hard to lose any gold. So you can actually be quite aggressive with it. So I'm being very aggressive there with that pan.
That's true. I mean, technique, because the pan traps the gold so easily.
Yep.
It's forgiving for beginners, isn't it?
Absolutely. And when you're washing that over there, like I'm not losing any gold out of that pan. But when I get to that stage where I've washed a little bit off, I'll bring it back into the pan, right? And I'll agitate it again so the gold's dropping into that bottom corner. And then I'll start that process again.
Yep.
So let me just smash through it here. So I don't think I've lost... being this aggressive, people say, oh, you're too aggressive. But I'm just so used to these 90-degree pans that I get lazy and just smash it.
Yeah, you don't have to. So you can guarantee you're getting most of the good gold.
Oh, yeah. And the bit I'm losing, right? Like when you're sampling out in the bush, you want to do it quick. You don't want to be mucking around for 10 minutes with a single pan.
No. So you've got to process as much as you can to get to that pay streak.
Yeah, absolutely. And there might be nothing in this pan when you're out in the bush.
Yep. What's the other thing, Ben, about the pan and putting a bit of a drop of rinse aid or something in it?
Yeah. Well, the rinse aid or detergent. Well, detergent I don't think's much good because it makes.
You end up with a big.
Yeah.
Big bowl of soap.
Did I tell you the story about the issue we had?
Yeah.
I'd like to think that it wasn't me that put the soap in, but I think it could have been. But I give it a squirt in my sluice at the at the old shop.
Yeah.
And I ended up with
people skating around the floor.
There was a. I could no longer see the 8-inch sluice, the recirculating sluice, because it was covered in foam. Anyway.
Got your washing done while you stood there, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
You can see the way that sand's just sitting in those riffles there now, see?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's the first
There's the trap.
Bit of gold there that I saw. So...
You know, I love panning because it's such a traditional... It's back to basics.
Oh.
There's so much history in panning.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's just the original... I mean, a lot of the old-timers never used anything but a pan. Of course, when you get an ounce of dish, it didn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't need anything else.
Yeah. Quite often, I'll take those big rocks out so that the water flows...
Yep.
And the gravel flows exactly the right way. So
you're really getting into the finer stuff now, though.
Yeah, exactly.
The heavier stuff.
A lot of black sand. Next
yeah,
little bit of gold just poking its head out there. So, and you see, I don't know whether you can see it clearly on the thing, but I can see that there's. Obviously, I've got a bit of gold right up the top here now. That's a really big signal for me to pull it back. To pull it back into the pan, pull everything back in the pan because I've got a bit floating up near the front.
So you're just working it back into the base and then start back over the riffles again.
Exactly. Backwards
you don't want
anything.
Forwards. Yeah, the big stuff, no way it's going to go past the first riffle normally, but
no.
You like that the little tiny flakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might migrate up the pan a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Jesus, that looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful. Like.
Where's this spot?
This is the pay dirt.
This is the pay dirt.
Yeah. So, then I'll just do this quickly. I won't go all the way down, but you don't have to use all the way. You don't have to use that edge, right? These pans are actually designed that if you take it and put it on a different angle, right? Let me get all the gold down the bottom there. You can actually be very, very gentle and start running some of this off and not lose any gold. Like I'm watching that very carefully, trying to see if I lose any until the gold starts to move.
Yeah.
And then I'll bring it back. Like there's maybe a little bit there now, and I'll bring it back into the pan. You see all that? You might not see it. There's a lot of black sand in here.
Yep.
But you can actually get that.
Well, that replicates what you're going to get in the field anyway.
Yeah.
This Tapeta is pretty representative of a natural sample.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see there, all I'm washing off is the sandy gravel. And you can actually, if I can do it pretty quick here, this is the bit where you might lose a bit. When you're off the riffles, you've got to be so careful because you will lose a bit. So you can get it very, very, very clean though with doing it this way because the riffles don't need to fill up. So you can see there's a bit of gold working its way down and it worked all its way down to here and I'll pull it back. So there we go, just about clean.
The thing is with this, everyone develops their own technique and what works for them. Like, you know.
So you see how clean I've got that?
Yeah, the streak of black sand coming in there with a...
Yeah. And that's basically it. It's as simple as that. So, it's a nice bit of gold in that.
That looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks fantastic. So
fairly typical of a pan we'd get in the bush, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Well, no. not unless you're taking me to rubbish spots and I'm taking you to rubbish spots. So.
Yeah, not lately.
So, snuffer bottle. Okay? The idea of a snuffer bottle is that you squeeze the snuffer bottle in and it acts as a vacuum cleaner. So I can then stick that in there and then slowly release the bottle and it will just instantly suck that up. So all the gold, well most of the gold's in the bottle. So you can actually then, with gold in here, squeeze it in again and suck all the rest of the gold up. So you can actually suck it up pretty cleanly and get all the gold out of it. So that's a snuffer bottle. I like to show that because it's a pretty common question I get. So, but yeah, so that is basics of panning.
That's great. Good demo.
Was it?
Yeah.
I question whether that's a great demo or not. So.
No, like I said, whenever you I'll put up panning videos and people say, oh yeah, but you're not doing this and you're not doing that. But you do what you do. You develop your own technique and what works for you.
Absolutely. And I've tested that, and I lose virtually no gold.
Yeah, I know.
Doing it that way.
Exactly.
You do it slightly differently.
Yeah, and just vary your technique and check yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because and do it at home in a tub like you've got set up there. Because.
And practice.
You know, obviously you don't want to be in the field getting great samples and throwing the gold out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to make sure you're actually getting gold if it's there.
Yeah.
But like I said, you maximise your chances by getting a pan like that Garrett pan with those riffles, because
absolutely
the old tin dishes work, but geez, you got to know what you're doing with a tin dish.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But practice it and practice it and practice it and practice it. You know, I've only got good because I do 30 pans a week.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
I pan something off.
Yep.
So, you know, that's the trick with it.
And of course, you could do that with your crushed rock. You could pan off.
Oh, absolutely.
And then that's how you do it.
That rock, wherever it's gone, this rock here, that was a much bigger rock. It's a bit of ironstone stained quartz. That was a much bigger rock. It's the only rock we've really put through.
Yep.
That's got gold in it.
Oh, okay.
Right, and it's been sitting at the shop here for. Well, it's been. I don't no idea where I picked that up from. It's probably been here for 5 years, right? And it's got gold in it. Not much gold, but you know, I'm not losing any sleep over it. But yeah. Right, so we're only about 125 comments behind.
I know. Well,
that's not many.
Have to float through them. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, sorry guys. If you've got
any specific questions.
Yeah, James here says rough up your pan as well. That's always a good thing. I've got a couple little pans that have got a moulding mark in them that I just need to hit with a little bit of fine sandpaper. Yeah,
because that's a good point. Because when you get the new plastic pans, they'll have a mould release agent on them. Put them in the dishwasher or something, or just rough them up.
Yep.
A bit of sand when you go in the bush. Don't start panning with a new pan straight away.
Yeah. Lynn asked, how do you get it from the snuffer bottle into the vial? What I tend to do is I'll pour that into a funnel.
Yeah.
And then I'll let the vial overflow.
Yeah.
The other
way, gold will keep dropping through. Yeah.
The other way I do it is I throw the snuffer bottle. Well, if I've got enough of it, I throw the snuffer bottle into a little fry pan that I've got specifically for gold.
Yep.
And I just cook the water off it. Then it becomes a dust.
Right.
Then it makes it. You can pour it on a bit of paper and pour it into a vial.
Take out your black sand with a magnet if you're having a lot of trouble with black sand. Like you're getting a lot of black sand.
Yep.
Because you don't want your black sand in your vial.
Yep. Yeah, you want to split it off, sort of thing. So it's worthwhile spending some time to get it clean.
It's just a lot of fun.
So because I've been doing a bit of sluicing lately, I haven't got a lot of gold by any stretch of the imagination, but we're working on changing that. But I actually I've got a bottle over there that I've just been throwing rough stuff into. It's got black sand, it's got everything in it. I just throw it into that bottle, and then when I've got 10 minutes, I'll go and clean that up properly. Right. When it's a decent amount. So I'm not... You know,
so you end up with a vial with a decent amount of gold in it.
Yeah, and like I'm not going to sit there and work 0.2 of a gram of black sand off 0.2 of a gram of gold. When next week I'm going out and going to have to do the same thing again. So I'll bash it all in.
Yeah.
Do it all in one go.
Just work it all in one hit.
Right. So Kyle, you can find diamonds in panning because they're heavy.
Yeah, and gemstones. You pan for gemstones.
Yep. Does the vibrating pan work? James, no idea, mate. Probably. I've never played with one. You ever played with a vibrating pan? No.
There's plenty of gimmick pans around.
Yeah, but that vibrating pan would settle the gold fairly quickly.
It's just replicating what you do with your hands.
Yep.
You can get nested sieves, and you can vibrate your sieves to classify your material.
Yep.
There's all sorts of things you can do if you want to get really serious about it. But in the end, it's a bit like the mousetrap. A gold pan with riffles has never been improved on.
Yeah.
Despite all these gimmick pans.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the other thing I forgot to mention too with the Eureka flag thing.
Oh, yeah, Eureka flag. What was the story of the Eureka flag? Wasn't there a story attached?
No, there is a story attached.
Something to do with Peter Lalor?
No, there was no Peter Lalor.
Oh.
I'm actually quite embarrassed by this story, right?
Okay. Well, we're going to enjoy this then.
We had a Eureka flag out the front.
Right.
Right? And yes, it looked pretty tatty, right? It had been flying a while.
It's been shot at by the redcoats.
Well, obviously, a mysterious person, thought I should do a little bit more justice to the flag. And I arrived to work one day, and there was a brand new Eureka flag stuffed in the door, which was
nice.
a beautiful thing to do.
Nice gesture.
Yeah, a really nice thing to do. So anyway, Friday we got around to
hauling up the new flag.
Hauling up the new flag. It was a beautiful flag too. Come in Saturday morning, we'd forgotten to pull it in at night. Someone knocked it off.
Oh.
I was like,
well, it is Australia.
Yeah. So
Eureka flag.
Yeah.
That's yeah, they look good when they're tatty though.
Yeah, they do.
Looks like the real deal.
But anyway, whoever that lovely person was,
he's got a Eureka flag,
who gave me the flag.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay.
So thanks very much. But
it's been knocked off. You can just drop another one off.
No, I've got one. I've got one coming. So we'll have the Eureka flag flying again shortly.
Okay.
So, right, so we covered about 20% of what I had planned.
Yeah, we're not going to get through all this.
No, but Mark says, where's the best place to pan in Victoria? If you're in the Golden Triangle, try a creek. There'll be gold in virtually every creek.
Yeah, but even go east anywhere, or Boston, the big forests out, Walhalla.
Yeah, all that.
There's gold everywhere in Victoria.
Yeah. Yes, so when we're talking about, so there's a couple of ways to remove gold with, remove black sand from gold. A lot of times use a magnet. Best, and you've got to have it submerged. So as the black sand comes up off the pan, it's not taking gold.
It's small gold.
Small gold, it lets the gold drop out.
Yeah.
But quite often, if you put a bit of Glad wrap over your magnet, or even a little, like I've got a little film canister with a magnet that fits perfectly in it.
Oh yeah.
Film canister around.
Oh, you just run that around it.
Right, and then you take it out, pull the magnet out.
All hairy.
Yeah, pull the magnet out, the black sand falls off it. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm full of them.
Yeah, I know.
Full of something anyway.
Should process all my black sand and gold concentrate piles.
Yeah. We offer that sampling service here. I can clean all that up for you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we film it, but you know. So, right. There's lots and lots of comments here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we're not going to get to all of them. I'm just getting further and further behind. So we're going to the bottom. We've missed about 200 comments.
Right.
And we'll just skip
We've only done a tenth of what we're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's normal.
So,
pretty normal.
Really,
set ourselves low standards and
fail to achieve them. Fail to achieve them. That's exactly right. So, so when the trick to alluvial gold, is volume.
Yes.
So you've found a little pastry with your pan, right? So the trick then is to get volume through.
Yeah.
Right? And really that's sluicing or dry blowing.
Or high banking
or high banking.
Or whatever you can do in your state. But as soon as you buy that gold pan, you just started out, the first piece of gold you get in that pan, the first thing you think is, I've got to get more. I've got to process more material.
Absolutely.
Because you know that because panning's, I mean, it's fun and it's a recreational. You're not out there to make millions of dollars, but if you've got a pan, 7 or 8 20-litre buckets of gravel, you're going to get tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you need to process it in I built a rocker box.
Yep.
Rocker box is one step up from a pan.
Yep.
You still got to finish off in the pan, but you can process a heck of a lot of stuff through a rocker box.
Absolutely, yep.
And that's good if you haven't got running water. You can just, the old jam tin like the old timers did. Then you think into river sluices, you've got flowing water.
There's also the push-in box before we move into motors.
Yeah, that's right.
So the push-in box from Dustin, that's an old technique that they used to use on the side of a bank, and they block it off.
And just throw the
water at it.
What they've dug up against it.
Yep.
And it comes down the sluice box because you haven't got running water.
Yeah.
Then you get, artificial running water has become a problem because most states don't allow you to have artificial running water.
Yep.
No power equipment.
Yep.
But if you're in a situation where you're lucky to be able to put a proper river sluice in.
Yep.
With running water, close to your pastry. By gee, you can get through some.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And put Dream Mat in it. Get away with your miner's moss.
Yep.
Put Dream Mat in it.
The only thing that I reckon, and Dustin was lurking about here, but the only thing is with Dream Mat, it likes a consistent flow.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Like you would put in a cradle.
Because you really need moss or something like that.
I saw something today.
variable flow.
I saw something today on the internet, was a special mat for breaking up clay balls, which looked awesome.
Oh, really?
It was like a spike mat, it was like vertical spikes.
Yeah.
Basically, the clay balls stick to it.
Yeah.
And the water
holds it there.
It holds it there, and the water wears the clay off the material, and it drops. Pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Because even a dream mat, Ben and I were up prospecting.
God, that's horrible.
During the week, and we had the thickest, puggy grey clay. Like you could just squeeze it between your fingers, and you just couldn't break it down.
No. And you could, like I had a drill with a paint stirrer on it, and it wasn't breaking the clay.
It wasn't breaking up, and it was coming off the end of the sluice box. We had like a panic bucket to catch, and most of the clay balls.
Yeah.
With the gold, was just going in the bucket.
Yeah.
It wasn't staying on the mat.
Yeah.
So you need something that is going to, which I thought was a pretty good innovation, was a way to somehow, like this uneven spikes, clay ball gets stuck there, the water just wears the clay away.
Yeah.
Keeps washing it. Yeah. Concentrates falls through, go to a riffle.
Yeah.
You could run a bit of dream mat below that maybe or something. You know, you could, so many people. Yeah. You see some great sluice boxes people build in their sheds.
Oh, absolutely. But I say to everyone, if you're going to build a sluice, stick dream mat in it still.
Yeah, stick dream mat.
Yeah, even if you can't afford dream mat, build it to fit dream mat.
Dream mat, because that's the best part of your sluice box is the dream mat. Yeah. So, but yeah. So what's in the push box? That's not. Is it dream mat in the push box?
You can have either dream mat or moss.
Oh, okay.
So, and you can run a pump. It's got holes for a spray bar. Yeah. So you can run that.
Right.
But it's designed for the old-fashioned way that they used to do it. They used to dig a hole in a bank and
have a
barrier, and they used to water and wash the stuff away, and all the heavies would stay in the bottom of the puddle.
And then just clean the puddle out.
And clean the puddle
like a puddler.
Like a puddler, yeah. So,
it's amazing with the old timers. The innovation was incredible.
Yeah. You
still learn so much from looking at those old books and photos.
Well, those Idris books.
Yeah, the Ian Idris
books. There's stuff in there.
Couldn't recommend them highly enough. Yeah. And he was around. He wrote most of those in the 20s and 30s. He was a World War I veteran. I think he was a light horse veteran, actually.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, but he was on the end of the. He knew the old timers. He knew the old timers because we're talking about the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Like the prospectors from the 1860s and 70s were old men by then, but there was an unbroken chain of knowledge.
Yeah.
And like World War I pretty much cut that.
Yeah.
And it was gone.
Yeah.
And blokes like Ian Idris documented it really well.
Yeah. So, Bud L's asked a good question here. Since it's already 8:30.
Oh, okay. Is it? Must be 8:30 somewhere. 9:30 in New South Wales. When are they coming back off that stupid daylight saving?
I don't know. So anyway, what we might do is that's probably not a bad place to stop anyway with the panning, the sluicing.
Yeah.
And then maybe next week I can cover the detecting.
Yep.
So
you better
we fire the randomizer
give
up.
Something away.
Yeah. So you've got 2 minutes. We're giving away an Ace 200 detector tonight. And the only way to do that is to share this post before I draw it in about 2 minutes.
Good luck, everyone.
Here's the machine in question.
You're just going to have to buy yourself a digging tool. That's all you need.
Absolutely. And you've probably got one out. You've probably got one in your backyard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And a hat.
So let me just fire up and refresh this.
I mean, these machines have got so much in them. They're a lot of bang for the buck. You've got full target IDs for all your different conductivities.
Yeah.
You can tell a penny from a sixpence. Yeah. You know, it's a pretty amazing little machine.
Yeah. And you can tell what's rusty iron, don't dig it.
You can tell rusty iron.
That's the trick.
You can tell a gold ring from a $1 coin.
A gold ring from a dollar. Yes,
yeah.
Okay, so let me fire it up now. I'm closing it off now, guys. So that's the end of it. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this to work here.
Right, the boiler pressure's up.
Yeah. You'll have to describe. You'll have to describe it again.
We'll have to show them the randomizer one.
Your description is quality. So tonight's winner is Lindsay. Where's Lindsay from?
Congratulations, Lindsay.
Lindsay is from Adelaide.
Oh.
No, she's from Mount Gambier. Lives in Adelaide.
Mount Gambier, South Australia.
Yeah, congratulations, Lindsay. I'll be in contact with you straight after the show.
Congratulations, Lindsay.
And I'll send that out to you in the mail tomorrow.
Yep.
So
Be lots of old historic relics around Mount Gambier. Lindsay be able to dig up with this.
Oh yeah, but she's from Mount Gambier, lives in Adelaide.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
City of Churches.
Lots of coins in Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, and also thanks everyone for, I'll get this out of you, right? Thanks everyone for commenting on that post. I will contact everyone. Well, let's be honest, I won't. Natalie
You should have put
will.
a reward up for the flag as part of the deal.
Well, I didn't want a lynch mob.
No, that's true.
Running the streets.
A mob of angry miners looking for a Eureka flag. That's never happened.
No, and you know, if you went on history, it's never been quite successful for the miners either.
Well.
No, so
government tends to win all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe the government have confiscated it.
Yeah, true.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
it's happening again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks very much, everyone. We will come back to you next week. We'll do part 2 on how to find gold
with a metal detector.
With a metal detector. Congratulations, everyone who won tonight. I think there's about 300 people that won tonight. So,
yeah, that's great.
You
got a few mail outs to do.
Oh no, it's a.
I come into the shop and it's
no,
just you can buy it
digital.
online.
Yeah,
right.
You just go there.
I don't understand.
No,
it's up in the cloud
it's
somewhere.
In the ether.
It's up on the line.
Yeah, on the line.
Yeah.
So we'll work that out. Right, guys. So thanks very much for everyone tonight. So next week will be detecting how to find gold. Thank you, Warren, for coming along.
No, it's been
You're
great.
away next week, aren't you?
I'm in Perth next week at the
Caribbean.
RAC Caribbean. So if you're in WA,
come and see Warren.
Come and say hello to me at the Garrett thing there, Garrett stand there. And then the couple of weeks later, if you're a Victorian, I'm at the Bendigo Gold Prospectors Expo.
Yeah, so
all the Victorians everyone in Victoria will be at that.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be good fun.
Yeah, so and thanks very much for Alicia. I think I just saw Alicia here somewhere for the picture from Got to Gold.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a nice picture there. So thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you next week, and I'll see you in a little bit time.
Good night, everyone.